I don't think it will ever be our intention to be an enforcement agency.
Okay.
I do think that peer-to-peer support is really an essential part of the work that we do. And so certainly there's a spectrum of, depending on where an organization is in their own evolution, and resources and all those things that we've already talked about. I think our long-term goal would be that we could move organizations that maybe for whatever reason are not able to achieve some of the best practices, for example, in sheltering or behavior modification or veterinary services. And so I think when we do identify that there's an opportunity for that organization to have some support, we try and match that organization with that support. And I think that really comes down to that. One of the things that we appreciate about the fact that in Colorado there are some regional coalitions. So in addition to our statewide organization, there are, I think, 5 really well organized coalitions. And so that's, I think those coalitions like the Metro Denver Alliance, Metro Denver Animal Welfare Alliance, or the We Care, which is on the Western Slope, they can be much more responsive to what's happening in that area, right? And so I think CAFAWA really relies on those smaller networks to do some of that sort of peer-to-peer support and outreach, so that if there is an organization that just can't get to the level that they need to be in terms of care, then that's something that regionally we can work together to address. The other big thing I would say about Colorado is that we're really fortunate that we have the Pet Animal Care Facilities Act. You may have heard of PACFA. And that, because we have those rules and regulations, there is a basic standard of care that we all have to adhere to. And I think the administration for PACFA is really committed to identifying, is it just education that organization may need, or is there an actual violation that needs to be addressed in a different way. And so, and CAFAWA has been very involved in defining what those, giving input to the Department of Agriculture about what those rules and regulations should be. And they, I think PACFA always gets stakeholder input, and the shelters have really, we've always continue to push that bar so that over time, as we know more about what animals need in our care, that's something that we're putting within the framework of those rules and regulations so that everyone is licensed and can adhere to those.